Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to get started in just 2 minutes. Thank you for joining us for this webinar today. It's going to be a very exciting topic, AI and medical diagnostic imaging. And there's a lot of good information that's going to be presented by the team from the Accion Labs Healthcare Solutions. So like I said, we're just going to get started in 2 minutes. Just stand by and I'll be right back. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome again. We're going to get started right now. These are very challenging times, especially for people in the healthcare professions, and I really appreciate everybody joining us today. I'm going to turn this over to Tony Kernan from Accion Labs. He's going to do just a real quick intro, and then we'll jump right into the presentation. Hand the presenter over, and okay.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Thanks, everybody. I just want to give you a quick overview of Accion Labs, who we are, our journey, and then lead right into our discussion with our head of our healthcare practice lead, Mukunj. In 2011, we started Accion Labs. Kanesh, who you see there in the middle, Sandesh and I, and the idea was, let's build a company who can cater to product company needs. These were companies who were tech product companies, platform organizations. They had an idea, they raised money, they wanted to build a product or a service, and we knew there was a challenge they all shared, and that's finding people, talented engineers who could help them build these products. So we set out on that mission. And we were founded by Basil. It's a private equity firm, and Basil along the way acquired different companies, and all the companies who were all acquired for a purpose to help Accion Labs build out a robust service offering in the areas of mobility, cloud, UI, UX, DevOps, QA, automation, big data, etc. We've built COEs along the way. One of them is a healthcare COE. Mukunj, who's about to speak, joined us about 2-3 years ago. We have worked in the healthcare space out of our 80 plus clients right now, maybe 30 of them are in the health technology space. So with that said, I just want to hand things over to Mukunj and let him take it from here, and we can ask questions along the way. But thanks again for joining us, everybody. And there's Hemant, lead data scientist, and Mukunj Joshi, he heads up our healthcare and IoT practice.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening. I know we have participants from different parts of the world here. So hello to everyone. Just quick introduction. So Hemant, who's also on the call and one of the presenters, he's our lead data scientist, our guru when it comes to machine learning, algorithms, artificial intelligence, image processing. You're going to hear a lot about that in the second half of this presentation. Quick intro about myself, Mukunj Joshi. I head the healthcare and the IoT practice at Accion Labs. I spent more than 16 years now in the US healthcare industry with experience across business strategy, business development, large-scale program management. I've worked and been a growth enabler at a number of early to mid-stage companies in the US. Last of those companies being HealthEdge, before I joined Accion Labs. So HealthEdge, which got recently acquired by Blackstone Group. So very excited to be here. As Paul said at the beginning of the presentation, tough times, but as they say, tough times make for great opportunities to introspect and look at sort of where we are heading. And so next few minutes, I just want to kind of give you a quick glimpse of some of our service offerings, what we do, who we are, how we go about our culture and our thought process. So As Tony mentioned, almost 30% of our business at Accion Labs comes from our healthcare practice. We have a number of horizontal solutions that cut across different stakeholders and segments inside healthcare. Hospitals, insurance companies, pharma companies, technology startups, laboratory and pathology centers, telemedicine, which is now again gaining huge momentum in this whole contactless world. So we've done a lot of interesting work in the telemedicine space. So again, we've got a lot of experience that cuts across a number of these segments within healthcare. At the heart of it, Accion Labs, as Tony mentioned, we're a product services engineering company with a very, very strong focus on innovation. We help innovative companies build great products using emerging technologies. And here are some of those technologies and what we call the technology levers of innovation. So we've done and are experts in mobile development, NLP, chatbots, microservices, large-scale system re-engineering. We've done work in cloud strategy and migration and transformation. Data, again, a large chunk of what we do in healthcare is driven by data, whether it's personalized care, where you look at genetics data, or whether it's value-based health plans where you tailor it to the specific needs of the end consumer, whether it's accountable care act where you're reimbursed not for the services rendered but the actual outcomes you create. All of these things actually require an amalgamation of all of these different emerging technologies with a very, very strong sort of data analytics and engine that sits on top of it. So we are a team of 2,600 plus technologists across 16 global offices and development centers, and sort of bring this amalgamation of having done a lot of work in healthcare with a focus on technology levers and emerging technologies to bring these great what we feel are futuristic solutions. Here is just a small sample of a handful of our customers, and as you can see, they span from companies like HealthEdge, who provide back-end platform solutions for the payer industry, Change Healthcare, one of the largest networks in the country, RL Datix, big portfolio when it comes to patient safety market, Covetrus, again, a company with a huge presence in the veterinary industry. So as you can see just from that flavor, right? So we've done work across a number of different sub-industries within healthcare, and again within that a lot of very, very interesting work as well. Talking about interesting work and sort of emerging technologies, one key emerging trend that we have seen lately that's picking up momentum is how we can use machine learning, artificial intelligence to actually automate a lot of what we do in healthcare. Now, goes without saying, algorithms, at least not in any near future, are going to replace humans, but they can augment them. Just take radiology as an example. 35% of radiologists report being very, very stressed. The incidence of stress-induced errors in radiology is at all-time highs. As the population is aging, the volumes, the workload is only going up. Now, you take all that and augment it with radiology requiring very specific skill sets, and you can understand that the problem is very, very grave. What if we could actually build a algorithm or an engine or a platform that can take X-ray images, retina scans, ECGs, EKGs, and be able to actually pre-diagnose it for the radiologist, for the physician, for the orthopedic, for the cardiologist, so that they are not having to look at things from scratch, and rather they can just look at it and be able to actually make inferences and assessments and confirm that what the algorithm has predicted is indeed sort of what aligns with the work that done. And by the way, in our work that we've recently done with some pretty large companies in this area, we found somewhere between 95, 96, 97% accuracy between a human assessment and the algorithm's assessment of, let's say, something like a level of degeneration due to arthritis. So with all that said, again, this platform is what we call Midas. So it's medical imaging based diagnostic assistance system. As the name suggests, you upload a bunch of images, and the system will actually give you within minutes a report for a few thousand images and tell you exactly what stage of degeneration are you at each one of those X-rays. We support a number of different image formats: DICOMs, JPEGs, NIFTIs. Processing the images requires a lot of pre-processing before you could actually do what is called ROI extraction, or the region of interest. So as you can see from the diagram below, we find instances where customers give us overexposed images, and this requires us to actually run them through pre-processing algorithms to then clean it up before you can actually identify what you can see in the second image here as the region of interest, from which you then further split up and then run your algorithms, right? So a lot of pre-processing comes with the platform. Our teams have a lot of experience then with taking those pre-processed images and then running different kinds of algorithms to identify patterns based on how the algorithm has been trained. So for example, in arthritis, you could be looking at, let's say, the gap between the two knee, the knee joints, to be able to identify the level of arthritis. You could be looking at calcification. If you're looking at a renal X-ray, you could be looking at fogging. If it's a ECG, you could be looking at heart expansion. So depending on what it is that you're looking for, our teams of about 500 so engineers have a lot of experience in different kinds of algorithms, including convolution neural networks, support vector machines, and tens of other algorithms that, and again, Hemant will sort of walk you through the details of it. Finally, these applications can be rolled out either in the form of standalone installations that can be used inside a hospital or a physician's offices, or it could be if you're a technology startup company, or if you're a large hospital network, this can all be cloud connected through Microservices API, so that it becomes more scalable and available using APIs. So all of those deployment options are available with Midas. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Hemant, who's going to sort of walk you through more details on Midas, what it is, and so on. So Hemant, with that, I'm going to hand over to you.
Hey, thank you, Mukunj.
You're welcome.
Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So I think Mikunj has already covered a lot of introduction about medical image processing and how maybe AI and ML can be helpful over there. So without wasting our time, I would directly jump to the three main objectives of AI and ML applications we are going to discuss today. So starting with the very first objective, image processing, enhancement, and transformation techniques. So how image processing or computer vision can be helpful, very helpful, in order to better diagnose the medical images, or maybe to detect the patterns present in the medical images which are not possible using bare eyes, or maybe without using these image processing techniques. It is going to require a lot of specialized workforce or a specialist, but how these things can be made very easy with the help of some advanced image processing technique. Here we have got numerous image processing techniques. I have listed down some of them, including histogram equalization, some morphological transformation, alpha beta transformation, edge detection, contouring, segmentation. So I have got couple of examples firstly to share with you in my slides, and then we are going to have a live demo and we will see how these things are going to work in action. So histogram equalization is just one technique with the help of which, if we have any problem related to maybe distribution of the intensity or contrast. With the help of histogram equalization, as you can see, we can actually enhance the image, and we can actually literally see the image and the pattern in high contrast. Moving again to the next one, which is age detection. So age detection is something which is very helpful in many medical image cases, and we have in fact used age detection for training some neural network as well to feed in the raw images. But it is also very helpful for the better diagnosis of the tumor or the fractures, or any abnormalities present in the X-ray or CT scan images. Alpha beta transformation, I think, is something which maybe many of you would be aware of already. So if you want, with the help of this type of image transformation techniques, you can control the amount and the magnitude of the transformation, like how the pixel should be translated, how the pixel should be transformed. With the help of that also, you can perform very good image enhancement, but it is going to require some background knowledge of this type of transformation. And finally comes the contouring. So contouring is sort of, you can say segmentation or something, with the help of which you can actually literally divide, or literally transform your input X-ray in the form of collection of contours, in the form of in the set of segments, and with the help of which you can very easily detect some spatial patterns, some abnormalities, some sort of nodule, some tumor, for instance. So this is actually something which is catching quite a lot of attention nowadays. So having said that, I would like to very quickly switch to the live demo, where I'm going to show some of these image processing techniques live, and we can literally see how these techniques are very helpful. Okay, so I hope you can still see my screen. So here we have got this automated solution in place at Accion, where we have already incorporated all of these image processing techniques at one place as a single stop solution. I would like to quickly start with one more functionality that we didn't talk about. I think Mikunj was talking about it earlier. It is regarding the medical image formats. So I think many of you would be aware of the fact that medical images are going to be available in different formats. So like, they are not the normal images, sometimes they are 3D images, sometimes they are normal images as well, like JPEG or PNG. So with the help of these advanced image processing libraries and all, we can actually access all these type of very specialized image format. And I'm just using one of the very common format, which is DCOM. And as you can see, like DCOM image, which is not readable normally, you cannot like see it just by clicking on the image. But with the help of these enhancement in the image processing libraries, all this type of medical images are can be seen, can be analyzed. And definitely other, if we have images available in normal formats like JPEG, PNGs, then definitely there is no challenge at all. Now I would like to very quickly talk about some of the image processing techniques that we have discussed earlier as well. And here, okay, let us see this one. So in this particular image, if you can see, it is suffering from a lot of contrast problem. We have got too much brightness over here, and nothing is as such visible. Now let us see what we can do, and I'm going to select one of the transformation techniques we have implemented over here, which is histogram equalization I was talking about earlier. And now you can see the difference. So if you can see, nothing was visible earlier, and now this has become way more clear, way more readable. Let us see another example, maybe little opposite one. So I'm taking one X-ray which is like quite dark, and again it is suffering from some contrast issue, but maybe in opposite way. And this time let me use this auto enhance algorithm that we have developed at Accion, which has been designed especially for the medical X-rays to enhance the quality without worrying about all the different parameters and augmentation. You can simply use this across different type of X-rays, and as you can see, it has literally enhanced the quality. Let us see maybe one more quick example of medical image processing, and here comes, okay, this CT scan of brain. And here actually I have got this annotated image where, you know, if you can see these arrows, they are pointing towards a tumor present here inside the X-ray. And if we would like to see this more effectively and we want to maybe analyze it better, maybe if we just look at this X-ray without these annotations, maybe we might not be able to, you know, realize, or we might not be able to analyze this with all the perfection. But now I'm introducing this contour, and if I'm going to select some proper, you know, contouring setting over here, with the help of which you can literally see, you know, in the entire X-ray nothing is visible anywhere, but here we can see this sort of abnormality which is clearly visible in front of us. So how, you know, this type of image processing techniques are helping nowadays a lot, not only for better diagnosis but also for, you know, making prediction. So that is the next thing we are going to talk about. So apart from using the medical images for better readability, how we can use AI and ML for predictive analytics, and we can, you know, maybe predict the disease proactively, and so that, you know, definitely we can somehow compensate, or we can somehow, you know, utilize it in place of, you know, manual intervention or manual diagnosis. So I would like to very quickly talk about two things over here. So our second thing for today is object detection or object localization problem. I think Mikunj has already talked about it briefly, so I would like to just quickly talk about, you know, some algorithms or some options we have. So there are actually two types of options available in machine learning and AI. One is image processing based solution, and the second one is neural network based solution. I'm here presenting one of the image processing or feature extraction based solution. So for example, this is the, you know, leg X-ray I've got, and I want to firstly locate the knee, and very specifically I want to locate the left knee or right knee in my X-ray, so that I can, you know, further feed this X-ray to my model for further prediction, right? So the first requirement we have here is object detection or localization. Firstly, I need to know where my object of interest is present in the X-ray. With the help of feature extraction based technique, what do? Whatever object we are looking for in the full X-ray or in the full image, we use a sample object image, and we extract the features for that sample object, and then we look for the portions or parts or, you know, specific region in the X-ray for which this feature is going to match with the reference feature, and in that way actually we detect or we locate our region of interest. Having said that, I would like to talk about the third topic for today before, you know, going for the live demo. So once the object is identified, or once the region of interest is located, then what is next? So here, if you can see, this is our region of interest, and basically this is known as the medial part of the knee. I think some of you would be already aware of it for sure, but I'm just, you know, sharing it for everyone's understanding. So for example, arthritis is detected for different region and different compartment for those regions, right? So for example, if we are talking about the osteoarthritis, so we are going to be interested maybe in the osteoarthritis in the medial part and osteoarthritis in the lateral part. So here we are presenting what? A model or a neural network based architecture which is going to take the medial part as input for training, and during the training we are going to provide maybe hundreds of labeled X-rays, where we will be providing the X-rays and along with the label of arthritis. But ultimately after the training, Once my model is trained, I will provide maybe just single image, a new X-ray, and the medial part of that new X-ray, and my model is going to process it through it, and ultimately it is going to make the predictions like given X-ray or the arthritis level for the given medial compartment is either normal, mild, severe, or last stage, or maybe undecided, something like that. So this type of model or this type of neural network models are known as convolution neural network, a very hot topic in the fields of AI nowadays, and specifically in the medical images, it is being used very extensively. Now, I would like to quickly jump to the live demo where we can literally see all these things working. Okay, so I'm firstly starting with the object detection demo for shoulder joint. So what do I mean by that? So for example, we just talked about object detection. What is object detection? I think you should be comfortable, with with some terms we have been using over here. So basically now the problem over here is this is suppose the chest X-ray we have, and in this chest X-ray, I'm going to be interested only in my shoulder joint, only in this particular region. And I want some machine learning or AI based solution using which I can actually detect this particular region by giving the entire X-rays input. So for that, we have implemented that same HOG or histogram of gradient descent based method. And here I'm providing, a sample picture of shoulder joint, and I'm telling my model like this is the object I'm looking for in my raw X-ray, and I'm going to now run this algorithm and I will show you the object, show you the result. So if you can see, like it has already detected, but now it is actually making its detection more precise, and it's done maybe in less than 10 to 15 seconds. And here it has returned us the detected object. So it has detected this shoulder in the raw image, and we have got the region of interest written back by the model. Let us take one more example of knee. Maybe it is going to be make more sense because we have been talking about it. So for example, this time I have got this leg X-ray, right? And I would like to locate maybe right knee. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the same procedure. I will firstly provide a sample picture of right knee, and then I'm going to call my model and I will ask it, okay, locate the right knee for me. It has detected it already. Now because it is not that precise, so in the second iteration it is going to make it even more precise, and it is done. So we have got the ROI extracted perfectly. So this is what we call as object detection problem. What is next? The third thing for today, object classification problem. And here I'm fortunately, unfortunately, we are going to present the case study on COVID-19. So basically all of us are fighting with this uh, disease, and we are all aware of this pandemic situation across the globe. So I think we can correlate it with that very well. So what we have done over here, I think some of you must have heard about this type of research earlier as well, like many AI specialist data scientists have tried to apply the AI to detect the COVID-19 using the chest X-ray. So we have implemented that solution here for you to explain the AI and ML capabilities. And I'm going to firstly show you couple of X-rays. So what we are doing over here, so I have got two X-rays over here. The first one I'm reading from a COVID positive folder. The second one I'm reading from a normal folder. And I have specifically selected this particular image, this particular X-ray, because it has got the annotation from the radiologist or the expert. So this one is COVID positive X-ray, and this is the normal X-ray. And now a radiologist has pointed out those areas where he think these are the areas which are mainly infected by the virus. So what we have done over here, firstly, we have collected, some images with COVID positive and COVID negative, and using those images, like we were not able to get hundreds of x-rays. We hardly used like 30-40 x-rays for COVID positive case and 30-40 x-rays for normal. And then we have trained a convolution neural network model. And I'm glad to share with you, like even with 50-60 images, we were able to achieve like more than 90% classification accuracy for COVID detection. So I would run my model over here, and I would like to see the prediction over here. So if you can see, like the prediction for the first image written by the model is COVID, and the second image, the prediction is normal. Okay. And having said that, what is next? So I would like to quickly talk about, maybe the extension to this solution, which is using some, again, image processing techniques to identify the areas which, as per the model, are the most important areas where the infection was present. And that is something we have implemented with the help of GradCam. We also call it like activation map. And now if you can see, you will notice how much overlapping we have between the annotations by the radiologist and the finding by the model. So these yellow and the red areas, you can see, these are the most important area where the model is paying the attention, and the model is saying these are the areas because of which I am flagging it as COVID positive. But here, if you can see, the lung is the x-ray is quite clean. We do not have any findings over here within the x-ray. So having said that, I would like to give one more example of object classification problem, and that is going to be on arthritis detection. And I think those who are not maybe very much familiar with the notebook, I know they are not they will not be very happy with the codes and everything over here. So due to that reason, now I'm going to switch a little to application back. Okay, so we have also deployed our machine learning model on one of our platform implemented at Accion, and here we are using our trained model to detect the level of arthritis. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select one x-ray. I have selected one x-ray, as you can see over there, and I'm going to make the prediction now. While making the prediction, I can provide what particular knee do I want. I want to make the prediction for the right leg. I want to make the prediction for the left leg. So what this model is going to do, accordingly, this solution, accordingly, this application is going to firstly perform object detection. It will locate the knee according to our input. If we are giving right, then right. If we are giving left, then left. And then once the knee is extracted, once the knee is detected, it is going to extract the medial part from that knee. And once we have that medial part available, that medial part is going to send as input to our neural network model, where our model is going to make the prediction. And the prediction is available in front of you. We have got the knee extracted, then we have got the medial part, and because the medial part is actually here, if you can see the femur and the tibia, they are almost resting on each other. We do not have any gap over there, and the prediction made by model is end stage. So this situation is known as end stage in osteoarthritis. So having said that, I would like to talk about a little on our approach and how we have trained this model, what were the results. So bear with me, I'm going to now switch to my notebook again, but I think it is going to make sense to you. It is not that complicated at all, for sure. So okay, so firstly, as here, like to train this osteoarthritis model, we have got hundreds of x-rays, labeled x-rays, using which we have trained this model. And then once the model is trained, in order to evaluate our model, in order to test our model, we have got a test of around more than 100 x-rays. When I say more than 100 test X-rays, I mean unseen X-rays that we haven't used at the time of model training or parameter tuning, at any phases, during any phases of the model development. So we have got a fresh set of approximately 100, more than 100, 112 X-rays, I think. And using those 112 X-rays, we used our model, we get the predictions for those X-rays, and then we matched those predictions against the actual level of arthritis. So our accuracy on that particular test set, unseen test set for multi-class classification is 91.96, so was almost like 92%. And with the help of this confusion matrix, you can actually see how balanced the model is and how good that model is across all the classes. Because sometimes it happens that you can detect some of the classes like maybe normal or maybe end stage, but sometimes it is very complex to make a difference between end stage and near end stage, like last stage and the severe, normal and the mild, right? So if you can see this confusion matrix over there for these 112 X-rays, the accuracy for the normal X-rays where we don't have any arthritis is 96.15%. For mild, it was slightly lower, but 82%. For severe cases, it was 90.91, and for last stage, it was 97.22. So this is this is the evidence, how great this model is doing across all different level of arthritis. And this something we call as multi-class classification accuracy. Okay, now sometime for maybe better understanding purpose, or for maybe evaluating the model or classification model, we also prepare this binary confusion matrix. What is binary confusion matrix? So basically we consider that, okay, there can be some overlapping between normal and mild, and some overlapping between the severe and last stage. Now we will combine, or we will bin these two classes together, normal and mild, severe and last stage, and then calculate the accuracy again in order to see how good our model is. So for the binary classification, our accuracy was 96.43%. And having said that, I would like to conclude this quick demo on image processing, object detection, and object classification using ML and AI. We would definitely love to hear your feedback, your questions, your queries. So I would like to hand it back to Mikunj. So Mikunj.
Thank you, Hemant. Thanks a lot. Hemant, we have a few questions that have come in from the participants. So I'm just going to quickly run through them. The first question is around image formats. Question is, what are the different kinds of images that are supported? So I had already covered DICOM. I think you brought it up as well, JPEG. But can you just give an inventory of what are the different image formats that are supported, and is there a way to plug in additional image formats, or and how do we create more and more support in the platform for different image types?
Yeah. So basically, nowadays with the advancement in the open source technologies, image processing technologies like Open Computer Vision, OpenCV, then Python, we have got Python image processing packages and libraries. So they have got OpenCV has got maybe the wrapper functions to read different type of medical images for almost all type of medical images, including DICOM, including Nifty, including RAW. And we have tested so far more than 5 formats so far, and we were successfully read and analyze the 2D and 3D images, medical images produced by produced in different formats. And having said that, I'm coming to the second part of the question. Definitely, and plugins are available. I would not call it plugin, but I would say the functions are available, the libraries are available. If you know how to correctly use these libraries, if you're aware of the properties of the format and what customization you are supposed to do while reading these different formats, you can actually read almost all sort of medical images format.
Got it. Thanks, Hemant. Second question that has come in is, what is the typical data set that is needed to train a model similar to the one you showed during the presentation?
Okay, so a little tricky question, but I would say, suppose if you can, if you can provide, or if you can have somewhere around 1,000 X-rays with a proper distribution. So suppose we are talking about maybe a 4-class classification model over here, and if we have somewhere around 200 to 300 X-rays per class, okay, with an even distribution across the classes, according to our experience, according to the implementations we have done so far, this is a sufficient data to train, I would say, a good model, where you can expect the accuracy maybe somewhere around 80 to 85%. And definitely if you want to go beyond that, so you will have to maybe incorporate some more training images, and you will have to focus on maybe some of the very complex cases, because sometimes what happens, some of the like 80%, 90% images are maybe straightforward, or like they have got like expected pattern. But in some cases there can be some surprises, there can be some hidden patterns, some complex patterns that a model cannot learn without maybe more X-rays, more sample. So in that case, in order to cover those complex situations, those complex examples, you would need more X-rays.
Got it. Makes sense. The last question I had was, outside the context of healthcare, what are the different domains where we have experience working with image processing?
Again, great question. And like so far, we have seen a lot of use cases of image processing and computer vision, whether it is retail, whether it is fashion, whether it is like healthcare. But yeah, apart from healthcare, in fact, for inventory solution, in fact, for like fashion and designing. So whenever there is a problem related to pattern matching, object detection, you can I think take the example of Amazon go to store. I think in US Amazon has already opened that store in at some places. So there actually you don't need to carry your credit card. There is no attendant over there. You can simply walk in the store. Whatever products you are selecting, they are already being captured by the cameras with the help of object detection algorithms. They are detecting the product. They have got the price. They have scanned you already. They have got your information. So automatically, your credit card is going to be charged for that. So like applications are used. In fact, in case of IoT, in case of self-driving cars. So there are plenty of examples. Like the list is long, but I think that should answer your question.
Yeah, I think you've covered it pretty well. So that's it. Those are the lists of questions we had. Again, on behalf of everyone at Accion Labs, we would like to thank all the participants that attended the webinar today. We will be sharing the recorded version of the webinar back to you in a day or so. If there are any additional questions, if you need to reach out to us, please feel free to reach out to us at healthcare@accionlabs.com. So our email is healthcare@accionlabs.com. And again, thank you very much for your time.